Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. You know, I've been making YouTube videos for a while at this point. I've made thousands of videos just for this YouTube channel alone. I think the count is well over 3,000 at this point. At least that's the official count, not what you're able to see on the front page of the YouTube channel. And sometimes, you know, I think back to things that I've said in the past, things that were relevant at the time, that end up being relevant in the current. One thing I used to say all the time is, being sassy isn't an argument. You know, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and her squad members, they tend to think that passion and sassiness is a great replacement for facts, common sense, logic, evidence. And so back in the days when we were dealing with, you know, squad nonsense on a more regular basis, I used to always start videos off by saying those exact words: being sassy isn't an argument. Well, folks, it's coming right back. We have a Democrat individual by the name of Mrs. Crockett. To be honest with you, I had no idea that Mrs. Jasmine Crockett even existed, but I'm not exactly surprised. Seems like a typical New Age Democrat, and let me show you guys exactly what I mean by that. We got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. All right, folks, so this is a sitting Democrat representative, Mrs. Jasmine Crockett, going in on the sham impeachment inquiry that Republicans are pushing.
Let me tell you something. I don't want to talk about what y'all want to act like is some big mystery, because we keep sitting here and Professor Gerhardt, just to be clear, as my colleagues have even tried to provide evidence, which they're not the ones to provide evidence, have you ever heard them say "if" since we've been sitting here for I don't know how long?
Yes, I've been taking a tally.
Oh, okay. Can you show us? Can you show what the tally is?
More than 35 times, the Republican witnesses and Republican members of the committee have used the word "if."
Thank you so much for that. Because honestly, if they would continue to say "if" or Hunter and we were playing the drinking game, I would be drunk by now. I'll tell you something that was so disturbing as I walked in to this chamber today. As I prepared, I said, what is the crime? Because when you're talking about impeachment, you're talking about high crimes or misdemeanors. And I can't seem to find the crime. And honestly, no one has testified of what crime they believe the president of the United States has committed. But when we start talking about things that look like evidence, they want to act like they blind. They don't know what this is. These are our national secrets. Looks like in the shitter to me. But I will tell you what the president has been guilty of. He has unfortunately been guilty of loving his child unconditionally, and that is the only evidence that they have brought forward. And honestly, I hope and pray that my parents love me half as much as he loves his child.
Now you see exactly what I mean, right? Facts, non-existent. Relevant, strong, argumentative points, non-existent. Just passion and sassiness, but really just a bunch of incoherent nonsense. The point that she was trying to make is that there's no evidence. There's no evidence to suggest any wrongdoing from the Biden family and their business dealings, and certainly nothing connecting Joe Biden. There's no evidence, she says, as she ignores the plethora of legitimate evidence, but then she pivots the conversation to Donald Trump.
But when we start talking about things that look like evidence, they want to act like they blind. They don't know what this is. These are our national secrets. Looks like in the shitter to me. This looks like more evidence of our national secrets, say on a stage at Mar-a-Lago. When we're talking about somebody that's committed high crimes, it's at least indictments. Let's say 32 counts related to unauthorized retention of national security secrets, 7 counts related to obstructing the investigation, 3 false statements, 1 count of conspiracy to defraud the United States, falsifying business records, conspiracy to defraud the United States, 2 counts related to efforts to obstruct the vote certification proceedings, 1 count of conspiracy to violate civil rights, 23 counts related to forgery or false document statements, 8 counts related to soliciting, and I could go on because he's got 91 counts pending right now. But I will tell you what the president has been guilty of. He has unfortunately been guilty of loving his child unconditionally, and that is the only evidence that they have brought forward. And honestly, I hope and pray that my parents love me half as much as he loves his child. Until they find some evidence, we need to get back to the people's work, which means keeping this government open so that people don't go hungry in the streets of the United States. And
State secrets in the shitter, y'all. That's what Mrs. Jasmine Crockett said. So here we have a congresswoman, a Democratic congresswoman from Texas's 3rd congressional district, acting all self-righteous as if she's hitting hard, but really, what is she doing? She is lying. Apparently, this is the best argument they got. The argument that leftists are cheering and clapping for, posting all over Twitter as the hottest moment from the hearings themselves, but all she did was lie. I mean, that is actual propaganda. That is fake news. You know, you could have all the energy that you want, snapping your fingers all you want, telling it like it is, but really just spewing a bunch of nonsense. We have covered those photos a million times before. A bunch of photos of documents at Mar-a-Lago stacked up in one bathroom, stacked up on some sort of stage. And the claim from Democrats is that what you're seeing in those photos, those are classified state secrets that Donald Trump is leaving next to his toilet bowl, or as she described it, in the shitter. Yeah, that is a lie. I mean, that is a legitimate lie. All of those documents were not classified. Those are just regular presidential documents that belong to Donald Trump. She is essentially showing photos of Donald Trump's files and making an egregiously dishonest, horrible claim or accusation that is completely incorrect. And she does it with a totally self-righteous tone in her pathetic little whataboutism argument so she can defend her boss, Joe Biden, you know, the racist old white Democrat guy who's definitely not involved in any criminal bribery scheme at all. No, of course not. Don't look there. Just look at Donald Trump and all of his documents. Yeah, that's not an argument. That is literally not an argument, and it is certainly not a defense of Joe Biden. And it's also fake news. If that wasn't convincing enough, she goes to list all of the charges that Donald Trump is facing. Again, not an argument. Just listing whatever charges are written out on Donald Trump's indictment isn't an argument, and it certainly isn't a legal argument. Imagine that's the prosecutor indicting Donald Trump, presenting her evidence to court. Your Honor, Donald Trump very guilty. Look at photos of boxes, and also, let me read out the charges. I mean, it's just so incredibly stupid. But you have millions of Democrats watching this clip, clapping like a bunch of damn seals, cheering this on as if it's the greatest moment to ever happen on the House floor. I'm completely flabbergasted. I'm confused. I'm at a loss of words, and I simply don't get it. I don't get it from an intellectual perspective. I don't get it from a thinking perspective, but I do get it from a leftist blue anon cultist perspective. This is all they need. All the leftist mob needs is the perception of evidence, or the perception of an argument, the perception of guilt, and then just a bunch of fiery passion and sassiness to sell the story. That is literally all that's required. You just need to channel your inner AOC and just yell a bunch of things quite passionately with a little bit of sass and finger snapping, and boom, you are automatically overnight a Democrat hero. Just say, Trump guilty, y'all. And there you go. Debate is over. I don't know, the only conclusion I'm coming to is that the Democrat Party, and probably more specifically or more accurately, the future of the Democrat Party, is just stupid. You know, like, it's just such an interesting, eclectic group of individuals who are so susceptible to emotional manipulation and propaganda tactics, and it's just so hard to take them seriously. Like, this is literally the clip that they're posting as some sort of big victory. This and the AOC, quote, Byron Donalds takedown. Yeah, the AOC Byron Donalds takedown was not a takedown. And this, I don't even know what this is. To be completely honest with you, it's almost like I'm watching a Cardi B TikTok video about politics. I don't know, just general confusion. Anyways, I'm probably going in circles. You guys get it. Absolute sheer stupidity, complete nonsense, as per usual. That's what I got for you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like and possibly subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.